Every single day, millions of people swallow a pill that slowly turns off their body's natural healing system. And the worst part? Their doctor never told them there was a better way. Most people get this wrong. They think if something is sold at a pharmacy, it's safe for life. But here's what most people don't realize. Some of the most common medications on the planet were never designed to be taken for years. They were designed for weeks. I'm Dr. Leonid Kim. And today, I'm going to show you 5 medications that millions take every single day that should never be a long-term habit, and the natural alternatives that your body actually recognizes. This is information that could change how you feel, how you move, and how you age. Stick with me. Here's the surprising part. The human body is the most sophisticated healing machine ever created. It has built-in systems for killing pain, calming inflammation, repairing tissue, and balancing chemistry. But when you override those systems with synthetic chemicals for too long, something happens that most doctors don't talk about enough. Your body forgets how to heal itself. Think of it like this. Imagine you have a smoke detector in your house. It's designed to alert you to fire. Now imagine instead of putting out the fire, you just rip the batteries out of the detector so it stops beeping. The fire is still burning. You just can't hear it anymore. That's what long-term medication use can do. It silences the symptom without addressing the cause. Today, we're covering 5 medication categories. 5. And by the end, you'll know exactly what to watch for, what to ask your doctor, and what nature has already provided as a safer path forward. Let's start with one of the most prescribed drugs in the world. I'm talking about medications like omeprazole, esomeprazole, lansoprazole, the little purple pill, the little pink pill, proton pump inhibitors. PPIs. Most people get this wrong. They think heartburn means they have too much stomach acid. But here's the surprising part. Research shows that in many cases, especially as we age, people actually have too little stomach acid, not too much. When you take a PPI long term, you're essentially telling your stomach to stop producing acid. Completely. But stomach acid isn't the enemy. It's the gatekeeper. It breaks down your food so you can absorb nutrients like B12, magnesium, calcium, and iron. Without it, you're eating food but starving your cells. Studies have linked long-term PPI use to increased risk of bone fractures, vitamin deficiencies, kidney disease, and even certain infections because that acid also kills harmful bacteria before they reach your gut. This changes everything. The very pill people take for digestive health can destroy digestion over time. The natural alternative. So what's the real solution? First, understand that inflammation is like an internal fire in your gut lining. When that lining is irritated by processed foods, stress, alcohol, or eating too fast, it becomes leaky and sensitive. Acid touches those raw spots and you feel burning. Here's what most people don't realize. There's a natural substance that has been used for thousands of years to soothe that internal fire, protect the gut lining, and actually support healthy acid balance rather than destroying it. I'm talking about a specific oil, but I'm not going to tell you which one yet because I want you to understand why it works first. This oil contains compounds that coat the mucous membranes like a protective shield. It reduces that internal fire, inflammation at the cellular level. It supports the healing of the gut lining rather than just suppressing acid production. And unlike PPIs, it doesn't block nutrient absorption, it actually supports it. We'll come back to exactly how to use this oil in a few minutes. But first, let's look at medication number 2 because the pattern is going to shock you. Ibuprofen, naproxen, aspirin, the medicine cabinet staples. Here's what most people don't realize. NSAIDs are among the most dangerous medications when taken regularly. The FDA has warned about this repeatedly. Long-term NSAID use is one of the leading causes of hospitalization for stomach bleeding and kidney damage. And yet, millions of people pop them like vitamins for chronic back pain, arthritis, headaches. But this is where it gets interesting. NSAIDs don't actually heal anything. They block enzymes called COX-1 and COX-2. Think of these enzymes as workers in a factory. Some of them produce pain signals. Others produce protective mucus for your stomach lining. NSAIDs walk into that factory and fire all the workers, including the ones protecting your stomach and maintaining your kidney blood flow. You get pain relief, but you pay a heavy price. From a biological standpoint, inflammation is your body's internal fire response. It's not random. It's a signal that tissue is damaged or irritated. When you constantly suppress that fire signal with NSAIDs, you stop hearing the alarm, but the damage continues. It's like putting earplugs in while your house burns down. The natural alternative. Nature has a completely different approach. Remember that oil I mentioned? Here's the surprising part. This same oil has been shown in multiple studies to modulate inflammation through a completely different pathway. Instead of blocking enzymes and causing collateral damage, it works at the level of inflammatory cytokines, the chemical messengers that call for the fire response in the first place. It doesn't shut down the factory, it calms the manager who's calling for overtime. This oil penetrates deep into tissues, improves blood circulation to the area, which brings fresh oxygen and nutrients for repair, and actually supports the body's natural anti-inflammatory systems rather than overriding them. For muscle recovery, for joint comfort, for everyday aches, this changes everything. Most people get this wrong. They think natural means weak. But some of the most powerful compounds on Earth come from plants. Morphine comes from poppies. Aspirin was originally derived from willow bark. The difference is, the natural form often comes with cofactors that protect you from side effects. Isolated synthetic versions don't. Now let's talk about something even more personal. Anxiety, insomnia, the 2 a.m. staring at the ceiling, the racing heart, the feeling that your nervous system is stuck in fifth gear. Medications like Xanax, Ativan, Valium, Klonopin, benzodiazepines. Here's the shocking truth. These were never meant for long-term use. The original guidelines suggested 2 to 4 weeks maximum, yet millions have been on them for years. Why is this a problem? Your brain has a natural braking system. It's called GABA, a neurotransmitter that calms nerve signals. Benzodiazepines force that brake pedal to the floor. It works at first. But over time, your brain adapts. It starts removing brake pads because it thinks, why do I need these? Something else is doing the braking for me. So when you try to stop the medication, you have fewer natural brakes than when you started. That's why withdrawal is so brutal. That's why anxiety often comes back worse. From a nerve signaling perspective, it's like hiring someone to walk for you. Eventually your leg muscles atrophy. The system weakens because it's not being used. The natural alternative. The body has another pathway for calm that most people ignore. It's called the parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest mode, and certain natural compounds can gently activate this system without forcing anything. Here's where it gets interesting. That same oil we've been discussing, it doesn't just work on inflammation and circulation. It also interacts with nerve pain signals and muscle tension. When applied properly, it creates a cascade of calming signals through the skin, into the tissues, and ultimately influences the nervous system's pain and stress processing centers. Most people get this wrong. They think you have to swallow something to calm your nerves. But your skin is your largest organ. It's loaded with nerve endings. Transdermal absorption, absorbing through the skin, can bypass the digestive system and deliver compounds directly where they're needed without the systemic side effects of pills. Statins, Lipitor, Crestor, Zocor, the blockbuster drugs of the last 3 decades. Here's what most people don't realize. Cholesterol isn't the enemy. It's a building block. Every cell membrane in your body needs it. Your brain is 25% cholesterol by weight. Your hormones, testosterone, estrogen, cortisol, are all made from cholesterol. But this is where it gets interesting. Statins don't just lower cholesterol in your liver. They block an entire biochemical pathway called the mevalonate pathway. Think of this pathway as a highway with multiple exits. One exit leads to cholesterol. But other exits lead to CoQ10, which your heart muscle needs for energy, and dolichols, which help with cell membrane maintenance, and even prenalated proteins that affect cell signaling. When you take a statin long-term, you're not just lowering cholesterol, you're blocking a whole highway system. That's why muscle pain, memory issues, and fatigue are common side effects. Your cells are literally running out of energy. Here's the surprising part. The original research that demonized cholesterol has been heavily questioned. Inflammation, not cholesterol, is increasingly recognized as the real driver of arterial damage. Cholesterol shows up to patch the damage, like a firefighter showing up at a fire. Blaming cholesterol for heart disease is like blaming firefighters for fires. The natural alternative. So if inflammation is the real internal fire, what puts it out? You already know where I'm going. That oil we've been building toward? It contains powerful polyphenols and compounds that support healthy inflammatory response at the vascular level. It supports blood circulation. Remember, circulation is how your body delivers repair crews and removes waste. Better circulation means better tissue health everywhere, including your cardiovascular system. Combined with dietary changes, reducing processed sugars and industrial seed oils, which are the real culprits behind vascular inflammation, this natural approach addresses the cause rather than suppressing a symptom. Ambien, Lonesta, Sonata, the Z drugs. Here's what most people don't realize. These don't produce natural sleep. They produce unconsciousness. There's a difference. Natural sleep has cycles: light sleep, deep sleep, REM sleep, where your brain processes memories and emotions. Z-drugs flatten these cycles. You might be unconscious for 8 hours, but your brain isn't doing the maintenance work it needs. Long-term use has been linked to increased risk of dementia, falls, and even complex sleep behaviors like sleepwalking or sleep eating. The FDA has issued black box warnings, and yet prescriptions continue by the millions. Your body produces its own sleep hormone, melatonin. But melatonin isn't just for sleep. It's an antioxidant. It supports immune function. It regulates your circadian rhythm, your internal clock. When you override this system with synthetic hypnotics, you disrupt not just sleep, but your entire hormonal timing system. The natural alternative. The body sleeps best when it's in a state of physiological calm, when muscles are relaxed, when the nervous system isn't firing pain signals, when circulation is smooth and steady, when inflammation is low, and now, after all this buildup, it's time to reveal what I've been hinting at. The natural alternative that addresses inflammation, supports circulation, calms nerve signals, aids muscle recovery, and can be used daily without the devastating long-term consequences of synthetic medications. Black seed oil, Nigella sativa, sometimes called black cumin seed oil. This changes everything. Most people have never heard of it. But this isn't some new fad. This is one of the oldest documented natural remedies in human history. King Tutankhamun was buried with it in his tomb. Hippocrates, yes, the father of medicine, used it for digestive issues. The Prophet Muhammad reportedly called it a cure for everything except death. But forget the history for a moment. Let's talk about what modern science has confirmed. Black seed oil's primary active compound is called thymoquinone, and thymoquinone is remarkable. Studies have shown it modulates inflammatory cytokines, those chemical messengers that call for the internal fire. It supports healthy prostaglandin balance. It has antioxidant properties that protect cells from oxidative damage. It supports healthy blood circulation. It has been studied for its effects on nerve health, respiratory health, immune function, and even metabolic health. Here's the surprising part. Unlike medications that force one specific biochemical reaction, black seed oil works on multiple pathways simultaneously. It doesn't override your body. It supports your body's own systems. It teaches your cells to function better rather than doing the work for them. Now, let's get practical. Because information without application is just entertainment. How to take it. For internal use, 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon daily, depending on your body size and sensitivity. Start with half a teaspoon and work up. Take it with food to avoid any stomach sensitivity. The taste is strong, peppery, slightly bitter. Some people mix it with honey. Some take it in capsule form if they can't handle the taste. For topical use, which is where the muscle recovery and localized pain relief comes in, warm a small amount in your hands and massage it into the affected area. The skin absorbs it. The compounds penetrate into the tissues. The improved blood circulation brings fresh nutrients. The anti-inflammatory properties calm the internal fire in that specific location. When to take it? Morning with breakfast is ideal for daily wellness support. For sleep support, some people take it in the evening because the muscle relaxing and calming effects can support the parasympathetic nervous system. For pain, apply topically as needed up to 3 times daily. How much? Quality matters enormously. Look for cold-pressed, unrefined black seed oil. The thymoquinone content should be listed, ideally 1% or higher. Store it in a cool, dark place. Heat and light destroy the active compounds. Let me clear up some common mistakes people make. Myth number 1, natural means I can take unlimited amounts. Fact, black seed oil is powerful. More is not better. 1 to 2 tablespoons daily is the therapeutic range. More can actually lower blood sugar or blood pressure too much. Respect it like you would any medicine. Myth number 2. I can just keep taking my medications and add this on top. Fact, if you're on prescription medications, especially blood thinners, diabetes medications, or blood pressure medications, you must talk to your doctor before adding black seed oil. It can enhance the effects of these drugs, which sounds good but can actually push you too far. This isn't a game. Myth number 3, one oil will fix everything. Fact, black seed oil is a tool, not a magic wand. It works best when combined with the fundamentals: real food, adequate sleep, movement, stress management, and hydration. You can't out-oil a bad lifestyle. Myth number 4, all black seed oils are the same. Fact, most people get this wrong. The extraction method matters. Heat destroys the thymoquinone. Chemical solvents leave residues. Cold-pressed, organic, properly stored, that's what you want. If it's cheap, it's probably compromised. Here's a statistic that should wake you up. According to a study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, over 100,000 people die annually in the United States from properly prescribed, properly taken prescription medications. These aren't overdoses. These aren't errors. These are expected side effects of drugs taken exactly as directed. Another study found that long-term PPI users have a 44% increased risk of dementia. Long-term NSAID users have significantly higher rates of kidney failure and gastrointestinal bleeding. Benzodiazepine use over 3 months increases dementia risk by up to 84% in some studies. This isn't about fear. This is about awareness. Your body is not deficient in synthetic chemicals. It's deficient in the conditions that allow it to function properly. Let's quickly tie together the biological mechanisms we talked about because this is where everything clicks. Inflammation is your internal fire. It's a signal. Chronic inflammation means something keeps triggering that signal, usually diet, stress, toxins, or inactivity. Black seed oil modulates the cytokines that call for that fire, reducing unnecessary alarm while preserving necessary immune response. Blood circulation is your delivery and cleanup system. Every cell needs oxygen and nutrients delivered and waste removed. Poor circulation means tissues sit in their own garbage. Black seed oil supports healthy vascular function and blood flow. Nerve pain signals are alarm wires. When nerves are inflamed or compressed, they fire constantly. Black seed oil's compounds have been shown to support nerve health and reduce excessive firing through multiple pathways, not by cutting the wire, but by calming the system. Muscle recovery depends on blood flow, nutrient delivery, and inflammation resolution. After exercise or injury, your body needs to clear debris and rebuild. Black seed oil supports all phases of this process. Most people get this wrong. They think natural alternatives are weaker than drugs. But drugs are just isolated, concentrated versions of what nature created, often stripped of the protective compounds that came with the original source. Here's the surprising part. Your body has receptors, enzymes, and pathways that evolved over millions of years to interact with plant compounds. It did not evolve to interact with molecules invented in a lab 50 years ago. This changes everything. The solution to long-term medication problems isn't more medication. It's remembering what your body already knows how to do and giving it the right tools to do it. Look, I'm not telling you to throw away your medications tomorrow. That's not responsible. That's not safe. Some medications are life-saving. Some are necessary bridges while you rebuild your health. What I'm telling you is this. Question the assumption that a daily pill for decades is the only answer. Your body is not broken. It's overwhelmed, under-supported, confused by modern life. The 5 medications we covered today, PPIs, NSAIDs, benzodiazepines, statins, and sleeping pills, represent billions of prescriptions annually. Billions. And much of that long-term use could be reduced or eliminated if people addressed root causes instead of silencing symptoms. Black seed oil is one of nature's most impressive tools, but it's just one tool. The real power comes from the decision to stop outsourcing your health and start reclaiming it. Real food, real sleep, real movement, real stress management, and yes, real natural support when needed. You have one body, one life. The pharmaceutical industry has its place. But it should not be the default setting for human health. If this information resonated with you, if you learned something that made you pause and think, hit that like button. Share this with someone who's been on medications for years and wonders if there's another way. Subscribe, because I'm Dr. Leonid Kim, and I have a lot more to say about how your body actually works, how to support it, and how to cut through the noise of modern health misinformation. Drop a comment below. Which of these 5 medications have you or someone you love been on long term? Let's start a conversation. Let's wake people up. I'm Dr. Leonid Kim. Take care of your health.